Hi everyone and welcome to Theme Park Worldwide, where right now I'm doing something that I never thought I'd be doing, sitting in my back garden in a train from the Ultimate that used to operate at Lightwater Valley theme park in North Yorkshire. It was an iconic ride and actually once the longest roller coaster anywhere in the world. It opened back in 1991 and operated all the way through until 2019. The ride then remained standing but not operating for a number of years before in 2023 being fully removed from the park. And it really was a sad day to see all those images of all the lift hill being torn down, the track removed, and yeah, the Ultimate, once the longest coaster in the world, and for most of its lifetime, the second longest roller coaster operating in the world. It was really sad just to see it fully removed from the park. Now, over the past few years, there's not really been much information about what happened to different parts of the Ultimate. I presume that a lot of the track just got scrapped or maybe sold on for scrap metal. But then recently, I did see that another private collector of theme park memorabilia was selling this right here, a front carriage from the Ultimate. And with me collecting theme park memorabilia for a long time, I just had to buy it. So yeah, I just want to say a big thank you to the collector that sold this to me. He was also planning on restoring it. It sat in his garden for the past few years and he just never got round to doing it. So yeah, it's come to a really good home as part of the world of theme parks. I mean, I'm looking out right now at my huge theme park collection, which is all in the shed. I've got a steeplechase horse and Blackpool Pleasure Beach off to the left that I'm kind of halfway through restoring. And this winter, I'm going to complete that project and also restore this beauty as well, which is going to be absolutely fantastic. Now, the Ultimate has got such a fascinating history. Not only was it once the longest coaster in the world, it was actually built by Big Country Motioneering and also British Rail helped finish the project. I think that's why it looks a bit like a train here on the front. It's kind of like a nod to British Rail actually helping finish the project. So it really was an iconic coaster. It should never have been torn down. It was a real shame that kind of after COVID the decision was made to never operate the ride again with public on and then fully tear down the ride. What a shame, like it really is. And obviously at the moment Lightwater Valley is currently up for sale. I believe it's under offer now by a company, so it'll be interesting to see who's purchased it and is going to operate the rides there. But still, the park would have been worth a lot more than £3 million if this beauty had have been still standing and operating at Lightwater Valley. So yeah, I'm going to give you a bit of a closer look at it because there's a lot of history to the actual ride vehicles as well. You might be thinking, hang on a minute, the Ultimate was never yellow. Why is it half painted yellow and half painted red? I'll come into that shortly and we'll take a closer look at it and talk about the history of this very ride vehicle that we've got here. I've managed to collect some pretty amazing things over the years, but I think this just tops it all. It's the Ultimate piece that I've managed to get, no pun intended. It looks absolutely fantastic, this, and I can't wait to get stuck in with the restoration of this piece. It is absolutely massive. Let me just come over here and give you a bit of a far away look at it. Yeah, look at that. It is huge. But luckily it fits perfect on the decking just here that also needs a good pressure wash. So I think when I'm pressure washing this down, I'm gonna have to do all the decking as well. Look at this. I think it's because I had some of the seating around here. I've had a lot of rain the past couple of weeks. It seems to have got worse, so I'll get the old pressure washer on the go. But yeah, this piece is absolutely phenomenal. Now it's the fiberglass shell that we're looking at here. It would have been raised up a little bit more for the wheels and the kind of metal chassis to be underneath. They've obviously completely removed it off the metal chassis when they took it out of Lightwater Valley, and it did have like a wooden framework underneath it, and this all kind of ties into why it's painted yellow. So a few years ago they had like a Tour de Yorkshire event, like a cycling event near the park, and what they actually did was mounted this and also the second car as well. I'm not too sure where that's ended up now, probably owned by someone else, but they mounted this in the second car on like a fake wooden support structure out the front of the park to help promote the park basically for an event. So yeah, that was a number of years ago now when they did that, and for that they painted it yellow and they also added these stickers on here. So these aren't original, so these will be coming off. You got the Lightwater Valley sticker there and an Ultimate sticker that was across there that was peeling off really bad, so I've already removed that. But what you can see here, this is like some of the original stuff what we're looking at here. Kind of archwayed over. So there was an arch there. It's had various different designs over the years in terms of the lettering. But yeah, I will be taking that Lightwater Valley off because it's not original. The ride was never yellow other than being painted for that event that had like a yellow theme. So let's talk about the other colour schemes that this ride has had. Now, you might be thinking, oh, you're going to restore it to red because that's the colour that it was on the ride. Well, it was for a number of years. However, the original colour was actually what we can see over here on the seating. So it's like this dark blue, almost black, but yeah, it's like a dark blue colour. That was the original colour of the Ultimate. So I think I'm going to be restoring it back to that colour scheme. Now, something else that's also really fascinating about this piece is when the ride opened back in 1991, it did actually have over-the-shoulder restraints. How mad is that? So literally, for a season, it had over-the-shoulder restraints. A lot of people were bashing the head and found it really uncomfortable. Let's be honest, the Ultimate, as much as it was an amazing ride, that second section in the forest could be brutal. It would whack you side to side, wouldn't it, sometimes? So yeah, add over-the-shoulder restraints. Look at this, you can actually still see where they would be fastened on there. Look at that. So I want to try and retain that in some form. You can just about make it out where the over-the-shoulders would have been. Obviously, this is for all padding that would have been on the back of the seats here. It certainly needed that. And then, yeah, it did have lap bars for the rest of its life, other than that initial year. So this is where the lap bars would have been. If you remember, they were quite bulky. They'd stretch out here and come across to the seating over in this area. So yeah, in terms of actual work to do on here, there's not really that much damage to it at all. There's a little bit of fiberglass and filler work needed, but it's nothing like the bookworm that we did all them years ago, and also the steeplechase horse that is coming on quite nicely. I will just quickly show you that over there. There we go. We'll have a full update on that soon. But yeah, the steeplechase horse is coming on really nice over there. I'm just drying my shoes out on the top there at the moment. But yeah, that is coming together really nicely. Yeah, here's a look over at the main event. It's fantastic, this. It's a really nice piece. I can't wait to get stuck in with all of this. So it's going to be fully stripped down, and then we'll add do the repair work, a mix of fiberglass and filler, and then we will, yeah, add a primer on all the top, and then paint it back to, I think, the blue. I want your opinions on it. Do you think we should do it red? I mean, I remember it more from it being red, and then there was a light blue train as well. But then, I know that was the original colours. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? This is the original colour right here. No matter what though, the yellow's all going away. There'll be no yellow on there. You can see a bit of original down here at the bottom as well. But yeah, what an amazing piece. I just love how it looks like a train carriage as well. Now, there's a little bit of damage down here, which is quite an interesting one. So a little bit of repair work has been done here already by the park. You can see where that's been like fiberglass back on. Could this have been the one that hit the deer, if you remember? Oh dear. Literally, there was a train that hit a deer a number of years ago. We've got to be going back probably 8 years, maybe longer than that. Could be way longer, but it doesn't feel like it. But yeah, literally, the train hit a deer. So could this maybe be the one that hit it? I'm not too sure. But yeah, look at this. What an incredible piece. In terms of where it's going to be staying, right there on the decking is the perfect spot. I think it'll work really well. It's quite funny, isn't it, how it's the length of the decking and it just fits perfectly over there. I can just get to the tap in the back, and it's not actually that heavy. I've already actually removed that wooden structure that was underneath. The previous owner had attached 4 wheels to it as well. None of that was original. It was all just added to it to make it easy to transport. Now I've took the wood off and also the wheels. It's made it a hell of a lot lighter, so I can actually move this on my own to maneuver it around here, which is good on the decking, which is absolutely fantastic. But what a piece. I'm so happy with this. I still can't believe I'm just sat in here like a piece of the ultimate, a real piece of theme park history right here in my back garden. Of course, the long-term plan is still to find a new venue to host all of my theme park collection, somewhere that can be accessible for everyone to come and visit. I've got some real amazing pieces now that I know so many people would love to come and see. I'd love to hold like workshops there, meet and greets, tours around the studio, all that kind of stuff. So that's all still in the long-term plan, just trying to find somewhere within the Staffordshire, Alton Towers kind of area. So if you're coming to visit Alton Towers, you can come and have a visit to the theme park museum as well. That's what I'd like to do in the long term. Still looking for that place for it. So we'll see what happens, won't we? But I'm always keeping my eyes peeled. It's certainly not about keeping it all in the garden and in sheds in my garden forever. I really want to have all this on display and just open it up at certain times throughout the year on like a pre-booked kind of basis, so you can come and see the collection. I'll give you a tour around, a bit of like a meet and greet, maybe have like a bit of a shop and stuff in there. there as well. So yeah, all sorts of different ideas for the future that have been floating around. Maybe like a roller coaster cafe or something like that would be cool. But yeah, we'll see what happens in the long term. That is certainly what I'd like to do. That's the end goal for me with this. And especially now I'm starting to get even more amazing items. I really want to be able to preserve, display and share it with everyone to see. And if I can get a bigger venue, it also means it'd open up for me getting even more items. Unfortunately, I have missed some pretty large bits in the past because I just didn't have the room. When I used to live with mum and dad, space was really limited. Here in our own home where we've been for, you know, over 3 years now, we've got a lot more space and I can kind of put things where I want to and yeah, really think about the design of the garden still with these pieces in to make it look nice and presentable. But the long-term plan, like I say, is to have a new venue to have all of this housed. But thanks for joining me here on Theme Park Worldwide. Stay tuned for some restoration videos coming up this winter. I've filmed quite a bit with the steeplechase horse. We'll finish that off and we'll get started and finish this as well over winter. Like I say, in terms of repair work, there's not actually that much that needs doing to this. So yeah, I can't wait to get cracked on with it this winter. So join us here on Theme Park Worldwide. But that leaves me with one final thing to say. Get out there and keep on riding. See you in the next video.